Hi, part 3 of Zero Sum Bias. Fair use, educational purposes, although that only applies to the person. I'm not a person, I'm a man, I'm an individual. How to avoid the zero sum bias. There are several things you can do in order to reduce the likelihood that you will be influenced by the zero sum bias. First step is to mitigating this bias is to identifying situations where you might experience it. This includes cases where you believe that a certain situation is a zero sum, meaning that the gains of any party in the scenario are directly balanced by the losses of the other parties involved, or that an increase in one domain must come at the expense of a decrease in another. Or that people think there's a competition between flat earthers and globe earthers and stuff like that. Or people are looking into the shape of the earth against people that believe it's a globe and stuff like that. People that are pushing debates like it's a competition. That objective reality is there to be won when it's not. Once you identify such situations, try to assess them and determine whether they are truly zero sum or not. How you do this will depend on the situation and on the reasons why you believe that it is zero sum. See, this word belief is like bandied about a lot. You shouldn't have beliefs. Do you know what I mean? Do I believe that this cat is sat on my lap right now? No. I don't believe he's sat on my lap. I know he's sat on my lap. Yeah? Do I believe that I'm sat on this sofa right now, talking to this screen? No, I don't believe that. I know that I'm doing that. Yeah? So you should get a knowing, not a belief. For example, if you want to buy a new laptop and find yourself thinking that it's impossible for one option to be better, both in terms of price and in terms of quality, ask yourself why you think that this is the case, and try to use additional information such as user reviews in order to determine whether or not your initial intuition was justified. But saying that with user reviews, we know there's a lot of fake user reviews out there, so you still can't really, you've got to determine use your discernment. Similarly, if someone is offering you a trade that makes you suspicious about their motivations, try to see their reasons for wanting to go through with the trade, and remember that those reasons might be different than yours, which could help you see that the trade can be beneficial for both of you simultaneously. Finally, you can also try using various general debiasing techniques. I might have a look at that one next. Such as slowing down your reasoning process in order to help yourself overcome your initial intuitive assumption that situations that you encounter are zero sum. Yeah? So slow down your reasoning. Just like think about things before you start trying to give you reasoning for it and everything else. Get to know how your mind works and everything, and how it all comes together and everything else. This can be beneficial both when reducing the zero sum bias that you experience, as well as when reducing the bias that other people display. Summary and conclusions. The zero sum bias is a cognitive bias that causes people to mistakenly view certain situations as being zero sum, meaning that they incorrectly believe that one party's gains are directly balanced by other parties' losses. For example, the zero-sum bias can cause people to think that there is competition for a limited resource in situations where the resource in question is actually unlimited and freely available. In practice, the zero-sum bias increases people's belief in the antagonistic nature of social relationships and can cause them to think, for example, that reduced discrimination against one group will always come at the expense of increased discrimination against another. Against other groups, sorry, I've got an itch. People experience a zero-sum bias for a variety of reasons, including the mistaken assumption that certain resources are limited, a mistaken belief in trade-off, consistency, an over-reliance on common correlations, an over-reliance on previous experiences, and an inability to see other people's perspective. To reduce the degree to which you experience a zero-sum bias, you need to identify cases where you assume that a certain situation is zero-sum and then assess the situation rationally in order to identify whether it is actually zero sum. which you can do, for example, by asking yourself whether a resource under consideration is truly limited. Yeah, well, I'm going to go this bandwagon effect, why people tend to follow the crowd as well. But first of all, I'm going to go and do the debiasing techniques next. I'll go into this one next. A guide to debiasing. How to mitigate cognitive biases in yourself and in others. Okay, thank you. Bye.